So, have you ever felt like you're just stuck in this loop, writing and rewriting the same AI prompts over and over again? Yeah, you're not alone. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to escape that loop. We'll do it by building these powerful, repeatable AI systems using something called agent skills. Here's the game plan. First, we're going to nail down a super common frustration that holds a lot of us back. Then we'll introduce the solution. Agent skills. I'll walk you through the 7-step blueprint for creating your own, show you 2 skills in action, and we'll wrap up on why this whole shift in thinking is a true game changer. Okay, let's get into it. And look, before we can really appreciate the solution, we have got to understand the problem. This really frustrating loop that I bet a lot of you have experienced firsthand. I mean, does this look familiar to you? That endless cycle, right? You write some code, you run it, you hit some totally unexpected error, and then you're diving right back in, trying to figure out what the heck went wrong. It can feel like this constant battle that just completely drains your focus and your energy. And this cycle right here, this is the real bottleneck. I mean, it's not about how fast you can type. It's the constant, totally draining context switch between creating something, testing it, and then fixing it. And yeah, sure, a single prompt might help you with one little piece of this loop, but it doesn't fundamentally break the cycle itself. So the big question is, how do we break this frustrating cycle for good? Well, we need to shift our thinking. We have to move away from just giving one-off instructions and start building a more robust operational framework that can handle the whole shebang. And this brings us to a really crucial difference, a prompt versus a skill. Think about it like this. A prompt is like asking for directions once. It gets you to one place one time. But a skill is like having a GPS. It's a repeatable, systematic process that's designed to solve that same problem every single time you face it. This quote right here just nails it. A prompt solves once, a skill solves every time. We're talking about moving away from these temporary fixes, these little bits of scaffolding you have to put up and take down. The whole goal here is to build permanent, reliable bridges, solutions we can actually trust and reuse whenever we need them.
So what is an agent skill exactly? Well, you can think of it as this self-contained little module. It packages up everything you need for a task. The initial prompt, sure, but also a clear process to follow, rules for making decisions, and even connections to other tools. The end game here isn't just to make an AI that talks better. It's to build one that reliably does a specific job the same way every single time. Okay, so let's get practical. Let's move to the blueprint and see how this all builds into a template you can literally start using today. This is where the theory gets real.
So where do you even begin with this? It's simple. Start with the prompts you're already using all the time. Think about all those little fixes and clarifications and follow-up instructions you find yourself constantly adding. An agent skill just takes all of that tribal knowledge, really, and formalizes it into a standardized, reusable structure. And this is the blueprints for that structure. These 7 components give you a super powerful way to define any skill. It starts simple, right? A name and a purpose, but it also includes these critical elements like triggers, which is, what kicks the skill into action, and checks, which define exactly what done looks like. And we're going to talk about those 2 next. All right, let's zoom in on triggers for a second, because this is a really crucial step. A trigger isn't just some vague description, it's the when. It defines the precise conditions that should automatically fire off this skill. Getting this part right is the first major step towards true, reliable automation. Okay, so if triggers are the when, then checks are the what. This is your definition of done. It's a clear, measurable set of criteria that tells the system, hey, the task is successfully completed. Honestly, without this, reliable automation is pretty much impossible. All right, enough theory. We've got the blueprint, we know the components. Now let's make this really tangible by looking at 2 concrete, real-world examples of skills in action. First up, a total classic. We're going to build a skill to handle one of the most common, and let's be honest, time-consuming tasks for any developer, debugging a runtime error that just crashed your program. And here you can see how that 7-step blueprint just comes to life. The trigger is super simple. You paste in a stack trace. The SOP, or standard operating procedure, lays out the exact steps. Classify the error, try to reproduce it, and then fix it. But, and this is key, look at the output. It's not just the fix. It's a full-on root cause analysis to help prevent that error from ever happening again. This is literally how you codify an expert's entire debugging process. Okay, for our next example,
Let's look at a skill for a critical step you have to do before any product launch, making absolutely sure a new API integration actually works the way it's supposed to. And again, you can see the exact same pattern here. The trigger is that pre-launch validation stage. The SOP includes running a checklist, checking the data format, even testing for those weird edge cases. And the definition of done? It's simple. All the required tests have to pass. A skill like this transforms what is often a manual, super error-prone checklist into a repeatable, automated, and way more reliable validation process. So, what's the big payoff here? Why should you really adopt this mindset? Because, and I mean this, it's about something so much bigger than just writing better prompts. And look, if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. The goal here isn't to make some abstract AI model smarter. The real value is making your expertise scalable. It's about taking the methods that you, yourself, have perfected and packaging them up into these reliable tools that anyone or any system can use. This slide really captures the entire shift in thinking. You're literally taking the hard-won knowledge that's stuck in your head and turning it into a tangible, operational asset. You're creating a tool that allows your entire team, or even an AI agent, to perform a complex task with the exact same level of quality and expertise that you would bring to it. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just think about your own workflow right now. What is that one repetitive task, that one frustrating loop you just wish you could eliminate forever? That is your starting point. That is the very first skill you can build to make your own expertise truly scalable.